Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Taylor Sherman and thanks for jumping on today to watch me. I have a wonderful message for you today, and this has stemmed from me being in sales for many years, me being in the people business for many years, and also just realizing that over the last few years, in the last 5 years or so, there has been such a lost way of communicating with people. There has been such a lost art form of feeling that genuine connection with other human beings. And so I figured I'd make a cool video about this on how to take these tips to put into your own life to be able to be more connected with other people, for people to remember you, for you to make other people feel important and special. And so before I get started, I wanted to say thank you again for clicking on my video. If you would please subscribe and share this video, it would mean the absolute world to me. So with that, I wanted to just start out by sharing some different stories from my past. So growing up in a smaller town in rural North Dakota, what I have formed my communication style with is from my incredible mom. And if any of you know her, you know that she is absolutely such a warm and inviting person. So one of the things that I have noticed over the years is that she really does know how to make people feel important. And so she did it with me as a child, and still as an adult, she just makes you feel great. So some of the things that she does, I have also adapted and added my own spin onto things. So I would remember that we would go places, or even when we were traveling, we would get our way. She would get her way more often than not, because she had a way of making people feel great and making people remember her. So anyways, shout out to you, Mom. Love you so much, and thank you for being such an awesome inspiration for my life and for this video. So what I will do to get started is to just share some simple tips. So I made a short video about this earlier last week, and I wanted to dive into more of those details. So as human beings, we have really channeled our power into social media. We have powered our channel into emails. We have channeled all of these incredible things that we have into being more efficient. And because of that, we have lost a lot of that connection piece that I feel that I use on a daily basis, which would include eye contact. And so eye contact is really one of the biggest ways that we can show people that we respect them, that we show people that we hear them, and that we show people that we are actually connecting with them about that topic. So if you do not use eye contact very frequently in your life, I would really, really encourage you to start using it in every situation that you possibly can. When you're having a tough conversation, when you're having a great conversation, all of those pieces can be connected through our eyes. And I think the eyes are like the gateway to the soul, or the windows to the soul, or whatever. So let's get connected with people's souls by making great eye contact. The next tip that I have here is by asking great questions. And also not keeping the questions really surface level. So not just saying like, oh, how are you today? Oh, great, great. How are you? Great, great. Like, no, I'm talking about digging into the meat of the conversation quicker. And so by asking questions that make people stop and think and actually realize that you care about what you're asking about is something that can help set you apart, and also help that make that person feel important and special. So I really like to ask, when did you fall in love with your job? Like, what made you love what you do, or what made you decide to stay doing this? What I deal with on a daily basis is mainly gatekeepers, right? So I talk to receptionists, I talk to, different people within that place, is people trying to stop me from getting a hold of the owner or that decision maker. And not necessarily to stop in a harmful way, but just because of the fact that typically that owner has a million other things going on, and they maybe don't have time for every other salesperson, but they do have time for me because I make time. But part of that piece is I have to get to know and get to trust those frontline people that I'm working with on a daily basis. I want them to encourage that decision maker to talk to me, because they know that I am going to make an awesome impact in their business. So asking great questions in every area, specifically for that, but also when I'm in a meeting with somebody and it's an owner of a business, whatever it is, I'm asking questions like, what made you chat with me today? Like, what made you change your mind and let me come in here to sit down and talk to you? It's about how can we ask better questions to make sure that people understand that we mean business and we know what we're talking about. This goes for if you're on a date with somebody, this goes if you're in an interview with somebody. It does not matter. You can use great questions to set yourself apart from everybody else. The next point that I'll make is being genuinely curious. So being genuinely curious from somebody is something that will make you stand out. Somebody will notice that you notice them. So by being genuinely curious, I ask the question like, oh, well, why is that? Or, oh, that's an interesting point. I've never thought of it from that perspective. Share with me how you got to that point. Those types of questions and those types of responses will help you get to the top of their mind and remember you for future meetings and so on and so forth. That goes back to making them feel important. So, making sure that you realize that, hey, you have been through tough times. You have had a tough day. You do deserve to be recognized, whatever it would be. Is just making them feel important and making them feel special. And so how you do that is through a combination of these things, right? So by making eye contact, by asking great questions, by being there and listening to them with the intent of listening, instead of with the intent of responding. So oftentimes we always listen, and before we actually even fully listen, we're just ready to respond back with whatever it is that we're going to respond with. So when you can take a step back and think about things from listening to understand versus listening to respond, you will get a lot deeper connections with people. All right. The second to last thing is to remember people's names. I can't tell you how important and impactful this is. When you can remember somebody's name, even from the smallest thing, if you call them by their first name, it is just such a big difference maker. This story it has happened to me many times, but just at the grocery store, just calling somebody by their first name. I did it to a grocery store person. I don't know, it was probably a year ago, whatever, it doesn't matter. Called him by his first name and he goes, "What, do I know you?" Like, it literally threw off his whole entire day, his whole entire process. And I thought that was really, really cool. Just to be able to, essentially brighten their day. It helps with servers. If you're working, if you're out to eat, calling somebody by their first name really helps make a better connection with them. And specifically for me, in what I do every single day is I try to help more businesses. And by doing that, I need to be the person that stands out. So when I stop in, I'm asking for that person's first name because I remember their first name. And if it's a receptionist, I make sure to call them that by their first name when I walk in to greet them. That is a small thing that is absolutely huge. And another thing that I want you to feel and think about is you're the other person, right? So like, switch shoes with them for a minute. You make yourself, somebody else makes you feel great when they remember your name, because that means that you were memorable and that makes you more memorable. That sounded like crazy talk, but it's really true. So that would be what I wanted to share with you on remembering people's names. And the last tip that I'll share with you on all of this, and this is just the cherry on top, and I do it so subconsciously that I don't even think about it, is to smile more frequently. Smile more frequently at people, strangers. Again, every situation that you can, it is a very important thing to do because, again, lost art form, lost piece that I think people do not have as well as they used to have maybe 10, 20 years ago. So this is a really, really important thing. And people want to help people who are helping people, right? I think that also made sense. But anyways, that is my video for you guys today. Here are the quick tips again. Make eye contact, ask great questions, become genuinely curious with other people, make them feel important, remember their names, and lastly, always remember your smile. Hope you have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Please comment down below which one of these tips were your favorite, and I'm looking forward to sharing another video with you very soon. And shine on.